you can get the mail from Dr. Syed. Anything. Okay, let me start. Okay, so maybe I will skip some of the slides. So, okay, see, this is the maybe my topic will be more or less centered around these points. So, okay, so nowadays, all the components, soil, water, air, will be the topic, and it will be the more interest to the human beings. So it is a environmental, ecological, as well as the ecosystem. So all will be covered, and the central to the concept is the water and the hydrology. So coming to the crux of the problem. So mainly I will be talking about the natural resource only, but see this is the management at the watershed level. See, all these soil, water, and the air are all interconnected. So the human activities will be the main component, as well as the watershed hydrologic component is also very much important. See, all this will be interlinked, as I said. So our security will be, everything is covered with the water, energy, environment, ecological health. So combined together, that is our life. So all these are the drivers for this economic development will be the water. You can see the components where the water will play the development. So how you can see that everywhere the water will come as the center picture, and it will be important for all these components. Even though water is there will be a problem. There will be too much flood or too much sometime drought, famine, then poor quality water, as well as the poor management of the water. What is the current situation? I will be skipping some of those data, so you can get my slide from Dr. Syed. So always, the quantity is not sustainable as of now, and there is a quality is always in the dramatic degradation, and it is continuing. So the overall situation is alarming. So what is happening currently? The shortages are multiplying, as well as the rivers are drying, also the excess pumping. Always, you can see that the full volume of raw water is going down, and the global water crisis is impacting the food as well as in the other foods. Okay, so this is the basic data which you can go through, and then always, this water will be, groundwater is the most important component, and it takes, 10 to 1,000 years, to get a good groundwater. So groundwater management is a very need of this hour. So the per capita availability, you can see that our availability for India is in the yellow. So it will be in the 1,000 to 1,500. So our per capita freshwater availability is going down. As of today, it is around 670, I think so. Maybe another slide is coming, I can show that. So you have to be very careful. Okay, so this is what, the fresh water. So India, it is only 130 meter cube per capita, and it is a very alarming situation. So this is the water balance. So you can see from this graph, you see that, in around 2020, it is around 900. So by the year 2050, it is going to 687 meter cube per in a year. So we need to very careful in tackling this situation. Okay, so the question is, do we have enough water? If so, at affordable cost, we will still we have, or whether it is only in the distant future. Then we need to plan it and manage it definitely to mitigate this. So the challenges are the water availability, so that it is available to all at the affordable cost. That's where we are trying. Water quality, whether the quality is good for the society. The answer is emphatically no. Can the challenge be met? The answer is yes, but with certain constraints. Are we doing what should we doing to meet the challenge? We can do some partly yes and as well as partly no. So plenty of water, but anyhow, 100% is not sure, and you have to very careful. Okay, see, always this the main drawback will be our groundwater is getting depleted, pollution, as well as no clean water, and the severe water shortage by 2025. Half of the world population will be suffering. By the year 2050, 3/4 of the population will not have water. So we are slowly getting towards the water bankruptcy. So these are all the factors, entire factors affecting the water quantity crisis. So we will see the other factors also, climate change, then current lifestyle, as well as our civilization is at risk, most probably. Okay, how we can meet this challenge? So you need to be worried about the availability of water. You should know about the supply, demand, and all the use of water, and what are the strategy you need to follow. So one is the assessment. So that is where we are doing some good job, but still we are very poor in some of those resources. Maybe we will be in the coming days. We will get those remote sensing data as well as the isotopes to do this assessment. So as I said, this only the data availability will be a challenge. Anyhow, with the availability of data, you can train this personnel as well as you can do some automation, and we can get through this difficulty. Okay, so demands. So you can see that we need 4 to 5 gallons of water per day to survive. So whereas the average African family uses 5 gallons, whereas in the world, Americas and other developed countries, they use around 150 gallons of water. Okay, see what is the problem? You know that very well. The democracy, the population is increasing from 3 billion to 6.5 billion, and the water use has been tripled, and the population is going to increase by another 2 billion by 2025 and another 3 billion by 2050. So definitely the demand has to be increasing, will be increasing. And also if there is no change in the agriculture efficiency, then we need another 60% more water for agriculture to feed that extra 2 billion people. So this is roughly 1,500 cubic kilometer of water as used, and it is very much it is equivalent to the Asia. Okay, these are all the food requirement. So that is one concept. Some of the diets you need to change so that the water requirement can be reduced. But this will be very cumbersome. Anyhow, we need to have a compromise plan. Okay, so you can see that. See, when you use some of these food products, you see how the water is utilized. But we know it is very difficult to change these dietary habits. But anyhow, the water will be used, and we have to use it for our agriculture as well as for the other purpose also. Okay, the factors affecting are the urbanization, as well as the great deforestation, declining groundwater tables, and also the use by the farmers, the industry, and finally the climate change. That is one which is going to be affecting our requirement. So you know very well that in India the irrigation accounts for 70%, industry 20%, household 10%, and then by 2025, the cities need 40% more water and the agriculture need 20% more water. And by 2030, all our fresh water will be gone for meeting the global demand. So see that in India, the urbanization trends in India. So you can see that after the 1950, there will be a huge shift on the urbanization, and it is going on increasing. So we need to be very careful in that maintaining the population as well as meeting those needs. Okay, so this is what the forecast, how much we will be using it from 2000 to 2030. So we will be in need of 800 kilometer cube of water to be needed for meeting all our needs. It is a forecast. Let us hope we will achieve that. Okay, so another part is this energy, because nowadays it is water, food, energy, nexus. So we need to deal with all in one cycle. So, but this part I will skip through the energy part, because maybe some other people will be coming and explore on that. So this is what where I want to show the students. The temperature, maximum temperature is going to increase definitely around it differs upon the monsoon and as well as in the spring season, whereas only in that around that near the cool period, it will be only in around more than 1 degree C, whereas in the hot period it will be around 1.6 degree C. Definitely, the temperature will be having a much more problem for our Indian climate. So this is the greenhouse gas effect. So okay, so based on the climate change, I think it is better you will see that IPC result that will give you the another thing. So maybe always that the hydrological regime will be affected, because the water is going to be affected, quantity is going to be affected. It is leading to all those other factors. Okay, so we have seen already there will be more flood as well as drought, and also the variability of the rainfall is increasing more, and also the other in the snow sector also it is having some problem. So all those interlinked, and then our management has to consider both quantity, quality, and other climate also. See, that IPC report, it says that our hot days more than 30 degrees C, it is increasing. You see, after the year 1980 to 2000, 2020, 2040, it is going on. Our climate is going to increase more than 30 degrees C. That's what the IPC4 report says. So we need to be aware of that. At the same time, the heavy rainy days. Suddenly, there will be heavy downpour. It is everywhere happening. It already happened in Mumbai, already happened in Chennai. See, it is all of a sudden there will be a heavy downpour. So we need to wait for that and how to manage that situation. So that is one where our effort will have to be more intensified. Okay. See, these are all the, as I said, in my previous slide, you can see that increase in extreme rains in the northwest during the summer monsoon, that is June, July, August. Then lower number of rainy days along east coast. So in record 944 mm of rainfall of Mumbai, that famous Mumbai flood and then there will be flood everywhere in India. So it is due to that climate change effect only. Okay, then one side there is a drought, and there is another side is the flood also. So you can see that the consecutive droughts because of the El Nino effect. So always, and this year also I think we are having the monsoon is getting delayed. Let us see. Hope we will have that already the average monsoon. Let us get. So the drought is the another person, and then cyclone. Everywhere it is coming. So you can see that recently Gujarat is affected by the cyclone also. Okay. So for our purpose, for Indians, it is our monsoon is our main source, and you know that very well. The uneven distribution of rainfall, and then the predictability is getting worsened because of this climate change, and also this El Nino's effect, which will be changing and then causing much effect on the Indian side. Okay, so anyhow, the groundwater is the one directly not affected by climate change, but it will going to affect the recharge because the precipitation is going to be reduced. That means then recharge is going to be reduced. So indirectly, it will going to affect the groundwater because we are pumping more. That is a very good concern, which we should be definitely we should have a watch on that groundwater pumping, and we must do something on controlling that factor. Okay, what are the sustainable water management technology which we can use? Okay, it is a very complex. We know very well that we need to match the supply as well as the demand, but at the same time, you know that policy and the politics will be there in the background always, and we need to give this growing population a good standard of living, and we need to have adequate infrastructure such a way that you minimize the loss and reuse of wastewater and conservation. Okay, so on the water supply side, we need to have some new surface and groundwater sources, better management, increase the efficiency, as well as use the new data and revise the facilities, how it can be used with the existing facilities. Another problem will come, because of this sea level rise also, but it will be very peculiar one, and it will be only in the coastal area you will have this problem. Okay, so we must have a plan so that it has a use it for integrated watershed, water resource management, and also the decision making must be a multi-objective, so that it will meet all those multi-objective and multi-constraints, and also as the socio-economic evaluation has to be there always. So you can have this is cyclic, so you can have the modeling verification as well as when you have the implementation, always you get some experience, and then always participate, ask the stakeholders to be a participant so that the results will be achieved. Okay, these are all the points which we should remember. We should conservation, efficient use, treatment, recycle as well as the reuse it, and also have some priorities on the additional resources like desalination, those things and all. Okay, the future outlook. Maybe these points has to be very useful. Kindly have a discussion on this. Okay, see, these are all the topics which we can give some role. Our role can be appreciated are in the coming days. See the hydroponic farming system. So Dr. Syed is already started advocating this. So we can have another discussion with him in the later stage. And the another thing will be the drone. Nowadays, there is a modern technique which we can use it for precision agriculture. then satellite-based positioning system and the GIS and climate smart agriculture. So on the food-based side, that long shelf-life technologies, sustainable irrigation technologies, we have the drip sprinklers, depending on your locality and the area. And then regional R&D center and its contribution to the farmer. So nowadays, very lot of talking about this artificial intelligence and the sustainable agriculture, agribusiness, some of those best practice examples, smart cultivation methodologies, warehousing and sorting facilities, and biological pesticide, because the other organic pesticides are creating environmental problems. So now pesticide from biological, so that it will be eco-friendly. So these are all the topics which we have some role in the future. Okay, the outlook will be, or increasing the societal demand, emphasis on the ecosystem as well as the environment, emphasis on the user friendliness, and then incorporation of the modern technology, computer-based design, artificial and space technology, and then that definitely, when we are using an upgraded technology, the uncertainty and the reliability will be there. That has to be studied, and then the competitiveness. So that is our future outlook. And then always, our approach should re-examine the water, energy, and the soil security system, so that the food will be there always. There must be partnership among academia, government sector, NGO, and the private sector. So in the education system, we must train the trainers, as well as you have to teach our teachers also. Okay, the way forward: innovative, revolutionary, and self-sustaining programs, diverse and multi-institutional partnership, pricing and valuing water for enhancing water use efficiency, strongly integrated planning for water, soil, energy, and agriculture, and robust regional capacity building. And we need to have a developed paradigm on the distributed and the controlled growth. Okay, summarizing. So taking stock of current situation, taking account of the looming global challenges, we need to re-examine, re-evaluation of our social values and the systems. So the future, whether it is a bright or dark, it is going to be all in our hands only. We need to do something. Okay, so these are all the final conclusion from this presentation. So maybe the disagreements over water can make a good relations bad and a bad relation to the worse. So we all know that since the water is poorly managed, and we can use the water for cooperation as well as the conflict also. Okay, so these are all some of those our alumni from Coimbatore and from Kumar campus who are now in USA universities. These people, the final year people, please contact them and explore your opportunities in the academic side. If you want, you can contact them. Thank you. Any questions, please?